scvotes.gov is, I like to call it, our all things voter registration and elections for the state of South Carolina. There are election calendars up there. There's information if you wanted to be a poll worker, of course, if you wanted to register to vote, if you want to check your voter registration, check your poll place, if you wanted to find out information about candidate filing, where do I file, what are my filing fees. I like to say, if you want to find election night results, all of that is on our scvotes.gov website. You must reside in the county, the state, the county, and the precinct that you are registering. You must be 18 years old on or before the next election. If you are 17 now but will be 18, you are eligible to vote in the primary. You can register vote on our website at scvotes.gov. You can go there and download the application. And then once it's completed, you can mail it, fax it, or return it in person, or scan and email it to us. You could also register online at scvotes.gov, and the information that we use is from the Department of Motor Vehicles database. So basically it will pull the voter's information. The thing about that is, if you choose to take that route, you want to make sure your information has been updated with the DMV first, and then you can proceed to apply online, and then or register online. And then thirdly, you can visit your voter registration office, and you can register to vote in person. And if you are receiving services from other state agencies like the DMV or maybe Department of Social Services, you could also update your voter registration or register in person at those other state agencies. You would definitely need a South Carolina issued photo ID. So it could be a South Carolina issued driver's license. It could be a South Carolina issued identification card, a concealed weapons permit. It can be federal identification. It can be also a passport or a passport card. And one more, in our voter registration office, we can now print you a voter photo ID card, so you can also use that as well. So basically it is a little plastic card that has your photo on it and your voter registration number, and you can also use that to vote. You would go to your poll place on election day, on the day of the election. However, we now have 2 weeks of early voting prior to every election. So if for some reason you need to vote early, you could come to the whatever early voting centers that the county, the voter registration office has open for early voting. You could vote there, or again, go to your poll place on election day. Always 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. the day of the election. It does not matter if voters were in line at 6:30, 5:30, 5 o'clock. We cannot open the polls or declare the polls are open until 7 a.m. However, polls do close at 7 p.m., but if the voter was in line before 7 p.m., does not matter that the line is wrapped around the building, does not matter that it's 10 o'clock when that person actually gets to vote, but if they were in line to vote by 7, they will get to vote. I think it's extremely important, simply because a lot of times this stuff does not get taught at home. I wasn't taught about government or voting and that type of stuff at home. So I think it's very important. You know, civics teaches us my rights and my responsibilities as a citizen. And I think knowing those rights and responsibilities is important. So that's one reason why. And then as far as government, I think civics and government, that whole, it kind of goes hand in hand, because you want to know who's governed. It's important for you to know who's governing you, who's making decisions about you, about your life or the world you live in. I just remember, because my background is education, I was teaching civics, or what good citizenship looks like, to 4-year-olds. I based it upon, you know, what we do in the classroom to show good citizenship. And if a 4-year-old child can get it, I'm showing good citizenship when I clean up behind myself, or when I share or follow the classroom rules. So yeah, I think it's important, and it needs to continue to be taught in education.
Contact your county voter registration office for information on programs they may offer.